Hello everyone, ako po si Lot Marquez, amateur radio call sign Delta Whiskey 1 IRF and K6 IRF. Dito po tayo sa Claremont, California. I'm about 35 miles east of downtown Los Angeles. And thank you for inviting me to your Emcomm forum. I am representing the Philippine Amateur Radio Emergency Data Network. Grupo po na ito is composed of hams here in California and in the Philippines. I am presenting about Winlink, the Winlink System, its email by radio, and actually a lot more. And ang website nila, and by the way, before that, yung website ng Philippine Amateur Radio Emergency Data Network, it's at winlinkph.org. And meron din tayong Facebook page, Pinoy Winlink Emcomm. Hopefully you can check it out and see we post a lot of information about Winlink and the Preparedness network. And also, yung original naman na website ng Winlink, it's at winlink.org. And sa YouTube naman, there's a lot of 1,001 videos about Winlink. And after this presentation, if ever you have questions, you can email me at dw1irf@winlinkph.org. So what is Winlink? Winlink is a digital messaging system similar to a standard internet email that can operate over the amateur radio bands, so for ham radio. Now there are two types of connection. The Winlink system can transfer email to a recipient via an existing Winlink gateway or directly to another station using peer-to-peer transfer. So I guess you can compare this to nowadays everyone has cell phones, and you create an email on your cell phone, and it will, of course, when you send it out, it would be sent out via the nearest cell site. Ito naman sa atin sa Winlink, there are Winlink gateways around us, most communities, especially here in the States. Pero dyan sa atin, meron na kami, later I'm gonna show you the network that is yung existing na ngayon. And yung mga Winlink stations sa Metro Manila can connect to it. Now, the second one, yung peer-to-peer, I guess ang comparison would be if you're using a cell phone and then you are using an application, then you'll be texting or sending image via, could be Wi-Fi or could be Bluetooth. So that's the comparison. But as itong Winlink, dalawa to Winlink can use it also on the internet and also on RF. So now, what do I need to start using Winlink? As a Winlink station volunteer, itong mga ham radio stations natin, usually they already have a radio system that they're using, di ba? Either sa VHF, UHF, or HF. Now, usually meron na rin tayong laptop, especially during the pandemic. Lahat, karamihan nagbilihan ng laptop, ng computer, dahil kailangan nila to do their modules sa school. Ngayon naman, kung ham radio station talaga, usually meron na rin silang computer. Kasi usually we use that for iba yung mga logging, when you're into contesting, DXing. So, tapos may mga apps na ham radio related sa computer. So usually they already have a laptop or a computer. Ngayon, yung interface naman, that is the one that connects the radio to your computer. So itong nasa left side, it's I put together a USB sound card interface and it's made up of a CM108 USB sound card and some cables, and that would already work. Now, meron naman si Rolly for F2 Victor, if you know him. Yung isa, nagpapagawa rin kami sa kanya ng USB sound card interface. And it looks like this. The inside is similar to the IRF USB sound card. It's just in a box. And plus some other, mas magandang tingnan. But it works both the same way. Now, meron naman Signal Link USB you can buy sa market, and medyo expensive lang. And there are other interfaces that you can use, iba-ibang klase. Meron DRA series, merong Mobile Link, and stuff like that. Marami. Okay, let's move on. Okay, here's an example. Yung sinabi ko sa inyo kanina na I put together an interface, and it's just this, a CM108 sound card. You can buy this in Lazada or in Shopee, and it will only cost you parang, last time I checked, merong mga 500, 350, iba naman 750, but they're all the same. So I guess depende lang dun sa nagbebenta. And with the sound card, you just put a resistor, a transistor, and put it together, and you have an interface. Nilagay ko example dito sa 28 Hotel. It's easy. The lines are, the cabling and pinning is easy. Okay, so FAQ, what apps do I use to connect to a gateway or peer-to-peer? What sound card modes are available to use? So let me answer it now, then later we'll go through it dun sa demo natin. So what apps do I use to connect to a gateway or peer-to-peer? Meron dyan yung main application. It's a window-based. It's called Winlink Express. And then what sound card modes are available to use? Merong a number of modes like Bara FM, Packet Radio, what else? And a few more. I'm gonna show you later. So what other feature does it have that make it good for emergency communication? So number one, you can use templates and forms. Also, you can create maps on, will show you where your volunteers are on a map. And you can send images just like an email, and a few more that are featured rich for Emcomm. Now, do we already have an existing gateway we can connect to? Yes, we do. Just like I mentioned earlier, sa NCR, parts of Bulacan and Calabarzon, and that I can show you later too. Can I use a Raspberry Pi or any Linux-based hardware? Yes, you can. Although it doesn't have all the features available on Winlink Express, the main app that Winlink uses, but there are a few apps for Linux-based computers. What frequency can I use when using Winlink peer-to-peer? Let me see if I remember. In the Philippines, from 144 to 144.10, that's CW, right? Only for CW. Now after that, 144.11 to 146, you can use that for voice, data, which includes packet radio and Winlink, and voice, data, and RTTY, I believe. Now, although it says 144.11 to 146, we should be mindful of the satellite frequencies, which I believe starts on 145.80 to 146. So kung alam natin yon, be mindful, dahil kasi lalo na satellite, mahihina lang yung dumadating na signal para sa kanila. So we need to respect them on their turf. Pero tayo, dun sa Winlink natin, we can use it from 144.10 to 145.80. So ganun, napakarami. But of course, data, you should always check if the frequency is being used. Ngayon, meron naman tayong mga frequency na para, kumbaga, calling frequency ng isang club. Ganun din yung PAR din. We have a few frequencies that we use for Winlink, like 144.44 and 145.22. Okay, let's move on. Next slide. Now, here is the Winlink Express app. If you look at the image, similar po ito sa Outlook Express. Is it Outlook Express? Microsoft Outlook. So, the one we use in the office. So, merong inbox, tapos merong sent items, merong contact list, and again, a lot more for Winlink, for Emcomm. And later, I'm gonna show you this, the actual app. Now, I mentioned on our FAQ, do we have an existing network now that we can use? And the answer is yes. Sa NCR lang po. So NCR and NCR and sa Bulacan area and Calabarzon. So looking at this diagram, makita nyo we have 6 existing na mga gateways na hams in the community can use, mga Winlink stations. So we have in Plaridel, Malolos, Bulacan, Santa Maria, Navotas City, Tondo, Manila, and Imus, Cavite. And in this diagram, you'll see yung mga arrows. Yung blue arrows will indicate na forwarding between gateways. Merong capability po yan na mag-forward kapag walang internet sa isang gateway or more than, or even all the gateways. Let's say walang internet dyan dahil merong disaster. There's always a way to move messages out of the disaster area. Kung makita nyo dito sa Imus, Cavite, meron tayong HF. So, pag yan, walang internet lahat, yung HF na yun ang mag-send the message outside. Maaring nasa Luzon din yun, or maaring nasa Visayas, yung kukonektahan nung sa HF. Ngayon, kung yung system na yan, or looking forward that one day we'll have Starlink on one of our gateways or two, then lalong gaganda tong network na to. Kasi kapag walang internet in all the gateways, then that Starlink system will send out that message outside. Ngayon, na-mention ko kanina, yung sa slides natin, yung about peer-to-peer, makita nyo yung red arrows, ayan, nagpi-peer-to-peer sila pwede. As long as you can hear each other sa RF. And also, I wanna add, yung peer-to-peer or even connecting to a gateway, you can use an analog repeater. So just like our network, itong Parden, meron tayong repeater na nag-exist sa Santa Maria, Bulacan. And if in case you are too far but you can hit the repeater, then you can use it to send your email or your message to another station, to another Winlink station. Again, as long as you can access both the repeater. Now, what else? Okay, that's it. Yung green is connecting to a gateway. Now, connecting to a gateway, let's say ang isang Winlink station na volunteer for, let's say, an agency, napakalayo nung gusto niya mag-send ng message to another agency, for example, but he cannot directly connect to that station. He can use one of the nearest gateway as a DG repeater. So para ding repeater sa voice, yun naman, it works as a data repeater. So lahat yan, yung na-mention ko, it is already existing dyan sa NCR, Calabarzon, Santa Maria. As long as you can access those 6 gateways. Okay, we'll move on. Next slide. Okay, now we're here. A demonstration on how to connect to Winlink Gateway and a lot more. So we'll show you in a bit. Okay, now here is the Winlink Express app. Again, this is a window-based application. And just like I mentioned, it's similar to Microsoft Outlook. At least the old Outlook. I think the new one doesn't look this way anymore. So I also, on one of our FAQs, people would ask what are the modes available to Winlink. So if you click on this drop down, you'll see you can use telnet, as in internet. Always use the internet if let's say you're a volunteer and there's an internet on your location. Don't even try the other modes. Always use the internet, because that is the fastest way to send your message. Unless if it's you need to access the bulletin board system, then you have no other choice but to use RF, even though you have internet on that location. Now the sound card modes would be the Packet Winlink, RDOF Winlink, Bara FM, and Bara HF Winlink, and of course peer-to-peer for packet, and then Bara FM, Bara HF peer-to-peer. And the other ones, you might be familiar with this. You might heard about Pactor. It's a TNC, terminal node controller, and usually this is used by sailors, mga nasa dagat. And yung ating Bara HF and Bara FM, it's comparable to the speed that Pactor TNC can do. So maswerte tayo ngayon. Unlike before, you have to pay Pactor TNC would cost you like $2,000 at least, yung mga high-end na mabilis yung speed nila. And now that we have Bara FM and Bara HF, so just like I said, it's comparable sa speed nung Pactor TNC, kaya maswerte, di ba? We don't have to pay too much. Yung Bara modem, magagamit to kahit walang hindi registered, pero limited yung speed. Pero if you are really into emergency communication, it's like $65, I think, is the registration. So it's not that much compared to having a Pactor TNC, which costs you a lot of money. Okay, so let's create a message. Create a new message from, by the way, here you'll notice I have some Pardon, Winlink PH. Those are called tactical call signs. So you can add tactical call signs to your account under your call sign. And let's say if you are a volunteer for an agency, You can have, let's say, Catsu at winlink.org and other kinds of tactical call signs. So I'm gonna use my call sign from, and I want to check into the net. Click on the check-in template. Right away you see that it populates or pop out on your browser. So here you can fill it up easy, or since you're let's say you're a volunteer and you've been using this on your simulation emergency test, then you already have a saved check-in data, so you can load check-in data, look for it. For example, this one, I'll open it, and then you'll notice, I don't know if you were looking, but this one doesn't have any data yet the first time we open it, but now it populates with more data, the ones that you already saved. Now you can click on the date to change it, of course, but because that's an old date. And then if it's not an exercise anymore, it could be a real event, right? So you just change it, and whatever modes you want to use, VHF, Bara FM, and then these are the people, let's say, you send to, or you can change it. Call signs of initial on-site operators and other information, additional location info. And by the way, this template was created for us by Winlink. That's why it would say barangay and region and the city and town. Now here you'll see latitude and longitude. So if you are a volunteer for an agency, and again you do simulation emergency tests, let's say every week, then you already know the latitude and longitude of that location, so probably already have it saved here. Then all you need to do is submit. Now once you submit, you'll notice that's the message subject that you'll have. You can still change it if you don't want it that way. Now okay, and then okay. Okay, so now it's blank, and then if you'll notice, you go here on the body of your email, it populates on your email automatically. So all this information is here, and now all you have to do is post it to Outbox. When you post it out on your Outbox box filter, you'll see it here, and you can send this right away if you need to, or you can wait if you need to create another template or another report. So but let's say I want to create another one, new message again, and this time I want a field situation report. This time, let's say I'm a volunteer and I'm on the field, or I was sent to some place, so I wanna check in and also send the field situation report. So I'm gonna click on the template, then boom, right away you see it opens up a browser again, your browser with the template. So you peel this up, see, so voice to IP landlines functioning, yes or no, stuff like that. Public waterworks functioning, cable TV functioning, stuff like that. Some information that you want to send to. Usually when you work with a network, you're a volunteer, there's what we call EOC, Emergency Operation Center, which takes care of all the volunteers. Just like here in California, I work with ARES, Amateur Radio Emergency Service in Los Angeles, and they particularly work with all the hospitals in Los Angeles County. and they have what you call their EOC, Emergency Operations Center, is called the MAC, Medical Action Center. So that agency or that group takes care of all what's going on with the LA County, and all their volunteers, ham radio volunteers, would work on each of the hospitals all over LA County, and they use this template and other templates. So again, best way is to load field situation data, which I already have it here. I'm gonna open, then all this will change again, and then you can just change it with regards to the situation that you're in. And then you submit. Okay, it's out of the browser. You go to your email, and then you see it on the body of the email. Again, it populates automatically. Then if you think all is good, then post it to Outbox. By the way, you can create, once you're here, you can still, make changes. You can add additional emails or additional call signs, Winlink stations, stuff like that, or even tactical call signs. I'm gonna change this to DW and IRF. So post to Outbox. So now we have 2 on our Outbox. So I wanna, let's say, okay, let's I'm gonna check in now and send the data. So I check in via voice data net, and I'll tell the net control operator of the EOC that I have a data to send to him via peer-to-peer. So let's say, okay, but this time I'm just gonna send it via gateway, just so that you guys will see how it works. So I'm gonna Bara FM Winlink. I'm gonna open a session. Okay, I'm gonna say no to that because we're doing it differently. Okay, and I'm gonna show you now the Vara modem. Here it is. Okay, so this is the one I was telling you about, that we're lucky because someone created this modem, and it only costs us $65 compared to the Pactor TNC. Now I'll show you this again. Okay, so now I'm going to connect to DU3FS-10 in Santa Maria, and this station, my station, is in Navotas City. So I'm gonna say start. Okay, so we're done sending those 2 templates. The check-in template that tells them what's the situation, and it comes with the GPS coordinates, the latitude and longitude, and other information that you sent out. And plus the other one, which is field situation report. So once they get that mail and they open the one you sent to them, then their browser will open up and they'll see the template, the same template that you use, and I'm gonna show you that later too. So okay, so let's exit here. Okay, now let's create another email. So this time not gonna use any of the templates. So new message from my call sign to, let's say you want to send it to k6irf@yahoo.com, and to another Winlink station, k6irf, and I'll say pics taken from disaster location. I'm just gonna copy this so that there'll be something on the body of the email, and then I'm gonna attach the picture. So I'm gonna add, look for that picture right there, open it, and you'll notice it's in red, right? 529 KB. It's too much because we're sending this through to radio, to RF. So you have the ability to edit and resize the image. Edit it. So I'm gonna resize from 159. Let's say I just want to be 45. It's 45 is a small picture, but good enough for your report, for the EOC to see what's really going on where you are. So I'm gonna say change size, save changes, and then finish. Now I'm ready to send this out. So I'll click on post to outbox. It's there. Again, just like what we did, I'm gonna open a session. Okay, I'm gonna say okay on that one, and then show you the modem again. There you go. Let's move this. Oops, sorry about that. By the way, I'm remote in our Nabotas gateway. That's why I'm using AnyDesk. So there you go. Much better. Okay, so again, I'm going to connect to the DU3FS-10 gateway in Santa Maria, Bulacan, and again, I'm in Nabotas City. At least this station that I'm using. And on our outbox, again, we have that picture that we're sending out to someone. Could be an EOC or some other Winlink station or an email address. So I'm gonna start. There you go, guys, it's done. So it took about 47 seconds to send a 45 KB image. Let me exit from here now. Exit. Let's close this. Here, and it's out of the outbox. And now we're gonna go change to the other call sign where we send it to, and then we'll check for emails that we sent to this email. To this account. Stand by. Now we're ready to check the email using the K6IRF account, Winlink account. Again, I'm going to connect on the same gateway in Santa Maria, Bulacan from Nabotas City. And here is your modem, the Bara FM. want you to look into this. This is where you'll know the speed of your connection. So from 14,000 now it's 19,000 DPS. It's now downloading the picture. From 19 it went down to 16,832 to 14,000. 11,340. That's it. So we downloaded the 3 mails that we sent out using the DW1IREP account. Now we're on the K6IREP account, downloading those 3 mails. And it took 1 minute and 29 seconds, and that is including the image. So now let's go and check our mail. So there you go, guys. You have 3 mails on your inbox. So let's check the first one, the check-in template to be created. There you go. So the receiving station, once they open the mail, it's the same template that you sent out. I'm gonna close this, open the next email. So this one, remember the field situation report. So let's open this one, and boom, it opens up on your browser the same way that you sent it out. So I'm gonna close this. And then the third one, which we sent a picture, remember the 45 KB picture. So let's open that up, double click on the image, on the attachments, and let's close this. There you go, there's your picture. It might not be, 1 megapixel or 10 megapixel picture, but it's enough to determine what's going on the disaster location. Again, it depends on if there's internet, then probably it is still best to use 45 or maybe 60. So it depends on the situation. So I'm gonna close the picture, and that's it. So I'm hoping that you guys learn a thing or two and become a believer of the use of Winlink in emergency communications. And again, this is Winlink is used all over the world, and looking forward to work with clubs. If you guys need information about it, just send us an email. Check us on our website, the Philippine Amateur Radio Emergency Data Network, and the Facebook page, Pinoy Winlink Emcomm. So to close, let me show you a bit of the Pardon website, all the information here, the how to install, and the network coverage of the existing network in Calabarzon, in NCR, and some other information. And here's the Pinoy Winlink Emcomm Facebook page, the Winlink website, and that's it, guys. So I want to thank everyone for taking the time to listen, and I hope all is doing well, and please be safe, and chat with you again. Hopefully I can chat with you next time. 73, mabuhay. Maraming salamat.